I am here to speak about the topic flicker to flames. Now, yes. So, I'll be talking about the flicker. So, a flicker is something before a spark, and a flame is something after a spark. So, from flicker to flames, what we are missing is the stage called spark. So, a flicker starts off with friction. So, just to give you a context here, I'll be trying my best to relate this musically. Just to give you a basic context, I'll be taking a scene from Sita Mahalakshmi and I will be explaining it bit by bit in a very simple way. So the idea is that Ram has been receiving letters from Sita Mahalakshmi, from this fictitious person called Sita Mahalakshmi, for quite some time. And the letters don't have the address of the sender. So if he has to write replies, the replies are not going to go anywhere because there's no address. He's written plenty of replies because this is the only letter that has addressed him as dear husband. So he's this lone soldier who's also an orphan, who's done so much for the country, finally has found someone who is caring for him, but has not seen the face of the person. So our man Ram now he's smitten by the words of Sita Mahalakshmi, and he decides to meet her. So I'll move forward from where that scene is. Please keep that in mind. So this scene requires a lot of treatment emotionally, because there are a lot of unsaid words from Ram to Sita Mahalakshmi. Though Sita Mahalakshmi has poured her heart out in the letters, Ram has written those letters, but he's kept them so that he can deliver it to Sita Mahalakshmi directly. So the emotion here, what I have chosen here is, my Sita Mahalakshmi is and my Ram is there's a certain the guy is lowered, so basically there's one note that is different. So how do we understand this? See, various emotions have various scales to them, various oscillations to them in terms of notes. So, for example, something patriotic would be probably a father who's distraught has just had a fight with his son, and there's this sense of longing between the father and the son, something like this. Something like this, or a motherly feeling, something in Kapi. Can be used as a medium to generate a spark or generate a flicker. The other thing that can generate a flicker are moments. Have you ever felt this sense of patriotism when when you saw Dhoni hitting the 2011 the ball for six? We had streets filled with people screaming for the nation. That was a moment. Similarly, me as a kid, the first time I came from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu, and I saw the beach for the first time. That was a moment. Then there was a moment when my first dog, my pet, he came and sat on my lap. That was a moment. These are moments, and these moments can be defined with music. So here in the scene that we saw, there was a moment. There was a moment of silence. There was a moment of understanding. There was a moment of unspoken words, months and months of letters. So that is something that has culminated to, a very, very huge moment. And I'll explain how I've gone forward, to scoring music for the scene. Okay. The other thing that also creates a spark in terms of music is environment. So here we have the bogie, the compartment. The bogie, the train goes into a tunnel. And then you have a beautiful shot of light coming from the end of the tunnel. The metaphor here is finally a man who was longing for love, longing for companionship, is seeing light at the end of the tunnel. That is the idea. So if I amplify that with my music or use it as a delay catalyst to finally reveal Sita Mahalakshmi, that would be wonderful. So here I will tell you guys how a flicker becomes a flame in terms of music, in musical language. The first thing that you need is the tinder. So when I say tinder, I mean firewood or log, something, or fuel, something that burns. There are a lot of unsaid words between them, so naturally you have a wonderful start for the spark. So the tinder here exactly is Ram's loneliness and his search for true love. And now he is at a point where he knows that that is the last compartment and probably he is not going to find Sita Mahalakshmi anymore. But he finds her, he says the secret phrase, and because that phrase is always part of the PS, postscript, that the letters that she has written to him, and only she knows that she has written those letters only to Ram. So Ram says that PS and she immediately recognizes him. She says only one word, Ram. What happens after that is the light across the tunnel that you see. And these are key points that have given me the spark to align my music in sync with the scene, to create the whole mood and to bring the scene to life, basically. So this is the shot where he's disappointed. Now, after this, on this shot, you will hear a melody. So this is called a highlight for a scene. So after this, the flicker. So basically there would be a suspenseful pause. Before that suspenseful pause, there's complete darkness. Before you see Sita Mahalakshmi for the first time in the theatre, the lights are turned out. Why? Because the train went into a tunnel. So that is a moment here. Finally, when the train comes out of the tunnel, am I audible? Check. Yes. So finally, when the train comes out of the tunnel, light shines on her face, and the music starts. So first, I lay down the cues for this. So we have the second video is played, and now we see the difference.
Adele asked to pay.
The music of disappointment.
Mission success, sir? Sir, if you are trying to
what I just did in this case was laid on the high points of how I want the scene to progress. In this section of the scene, you see the spark on Sita Mahalakshmi when light falls on her face, and audience also see her for the first time in the theatre. So this basically, the train going into the tunnel is, and then finally the light falling on Sita Mahalakshmi's face is delayed gratification, and according to me it basically catapults the feeling of holding on for a little longer, that catapults the feeling and makes it even more stronger. So that moment there is the spark. The flame. The flame in this case is Sita Mahalakshmi and Ram meeting each other. Here they realize their true love for each other, because Ram has also been writing the replies but has somehow not been able to give it to Sita Mahalakshmi. But finally he is now giving it to her. And here she opens one letter and she sees a flower in it. That flower, according to the letter, according to the story, that flower blooms once every year, just once. So Ram has basically put a flower inside the letter that blooms once a year, and she's getting to see it and she's happy about it. Ram sees her and he smiles. He gives a very shy kind of a smile. That is his response. That is the recognition that Sita Mahalakshmi has given for his replies, his love, and he's also got a response from her. So this also has to be underlined. See, that is the shot where she picks up the flower from the letter. So basically, the surrounding, how does the surrounding affect the sound? There has to be, they are inside a train. So I've tried to keep the rhythm as similar to a train as possible in the final consolidated version, which the third video that I'm going to play. So first video we did not have any music, the second video we had the highlights, and the third video is going to be a completely orchestrated version of the same thing that you saw. So this is how, probably the spark turns into a flame inside a musician's head, and that is what I wanted to bring out. I'll show you. the third video also I'll show you. So towards the end, what happens is, Ram is totally smitten by her. He's smitten by her beauty, he's smitten by her words, her, what to say, her affection towards him, her care for him, because there's no one who's given him that feeling in this world. So, the love between them, it has become very, very strong, and now the music becomes very, very dominant, and it kind of almost takes a rhythmic kind of an effect, with a generous amount of whistling and lots of good, happy melodies in between. So, that's his face when the whistle comes in. So it kind of, it's more like a mind voice of Ram. So finally, this is the place. The place means I've basically orchestrated the entire thing, and the third video I'll be playing now.
Then last two
So that is the idea behind what to say, place of the thing, and basically orchestration and everything. So how basic flicker turns into a flame. The beauty of this, one last thing that I would probably like to add is, there is a line in it. Bani, bani, sagani, sa, nike, sagani, sa. The beauty of these lines are, Nike Sada Vanisa means I'll be a slave to you, I'll be a slave to your loveliness, I'll be a slave to your beauty. And those words, the lyrics rhyme so well with the swarams, like San, Sa, Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Da, Ni, Sa, that Ma, Ni, Sa, Da, Ni, Ni, Sa, Ni, Ke, Sa, Da, Ba, Ni, Sa. This whole Ni, Ke, Sa, Da, Ba, Ni, Sa is Ram for me, and the rest is Sita Mahalakshmi. So that completes the union. And the beauty of using ragas is also something very, very, there's a strange thing about ragas that it sticks on to you. Even after watching the movie and coming out of the theatre, there is something from the film that will keep running in your head. Be it the individual block theme or something like that. It will always reverberate within you, because our gene pool is such that we've grown up listening to ragas from generation to generation, and that has a very, very strong imprint of us. So that is, according to me, the power of music in terms of extrapolating a scene from a very, very basic flicker to a flip. So I would like to conclude. Keep the flame, yeah. So